for loop in Python is used to iterate over values of which one? Collection. To iterate over values of collection or elements of sequence or iterable objects. An object which allows to read, an object which allows to read individual values, or elements, is called a iterable object. Is called which object? Iterable object. All collection types are called which one? Iterables. All collection types are called which one here? Iterables, which allows to read individual values. Now, what is the syntax of the for loop? Okay, if you see the syntax of for loop, for variable name, in what? Collection. For variable name in what? Collection. Or which one it is? Iterable. Or it followed by which one? Sequence. And followed by number of statements. That is statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. So what will happen? For loop each time read one value from where? Collection. For loop each time read one value from collection and execute statement 1, statement 2, and what is that? Statement 3. So for loop each time read one value from collection. For loop each time read one value from collection and execute statement 1, statement 2, and statement 3. Read each time one value. Okay, this is a collection, right? From this collection each time it will read one value and then execute statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. And read the next value and execute statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. And read the next value and execute statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. How many times it will repeat this? Until all the values read from collection. Okay. So this repetition is done. This repeating is done until all the values are elements read from, until all the values are elements read from collection, or what is it? Iterable. So for loop each time read one value from collection and execute statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. This repeating is done until all the values are elements read from collection. Until all the values are elements read from collection are iterable. Okay, for example, if you take a string is there. Is a string is a collection or not? Yes. I'm trying to say for it followed by variable name. What is my variable is x. What is the name of the variable? X. For x in within double quotes, I'm writing some Python. Is it a string is a collection of characters? Yes. String is which data type? Sequence data type. String is having how many characters here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is a string is a collection type or not? Yes. It allows to read individually one character. Okay. So what is the first character in the string? P. What is the first character in the string? P. It will read P and assign to which variable? X. After assigning, what do you want to do? What is the value of X now? P. So I'm printing. Print X. What is the value of X here? P. Then after that, read the next character from the string. What is the next character? Y. So now what is the value of X now? Y. Print it. Then read the next value from the string. What is the next value? T. And after assigning, print it. What is the value of this here? T. Read the next value from the string. What is the next value here? Hash. So it will try to print what now? Hash. Now read the next value from the string. What is the next value? O. It will print O. Then read the next value from the string. What is the next value? N. What is the next value in the string? N. So each time it will read one character, okay, and assign to which one? Variable, and execute the statement. Okay, read the next character and assign to variable and execute the statement. Now this will done. Now this is done how many times? Until all the values read from collection. Until all the values read from collection. Now this is very much useful because, for example, you have some list of sales. You have a list of sales. Sales list is there. This is a sales list which contains some 10-year sales. The sales list is having how many years sales? 10 years sales. Now all these are values. The sales list is having how many years sale? 10 years sales is there. How many years sales is there here? 10 years sales. Now I want to find all the sales which are greater than 1 lakh. Okay, then each time you read one sales and check, is it that sales is greater than 1 lakh? Then what will I do? I use which loop here? For loop. Okay, so for loop is only on which types here? Collection types. For loop is only on which data types? Collection data types. So it is completely different than C language, C++ and Java. In C, C++, Java, the syntax of for loop is, suppose if you are working in C language, what is the syntax of for loop in C, C++, and Java? You'll write like this: for I equal to 1, initializer. Okay, and then you'll say I is less than or equal to 10. For I equal to 1, I is less than or equal to 10. And then you'll say what? I plus plus like this. Correct or not? It means in C, C++, Java, you use for loop to repeat the statements number of times. It means this is a for loop syntax in C, C++, Java, where you'll say, suppose if it is C, I'll say printf. Okay, printf which value? %d. I try to print which value? I value. So what is the value of I here? 1. Is it 1 is less than or equal to 10? Yes. Print 1. I plus plus means 2. 2 is less than or equal to 10? Yes. Print 2. I plus plus 3. 3 is less than or equal to 10? Yes. Print what? 3. But here anything is there like I is 1, I is less than. Syntax is the syntax is same or different? Different. The syntax is completely different. This is a syntax in C, C++ and Java, but this is a syntax in what? Python. Okay, now there is a 3 statements you are writing inside for loop. In C, C++, Java, you write some 3 statements inside for loop where you will say this is called as initialization statement, and this is called as a condition, and this is called as what? Updation. Okay, initialization statement, condition, and one more is what? Updation. So all these statements you are writing inside which one? For loop. But here, is it any initialization statement, condition, updation? No. You are just writing for variable in, what is this here? Collection. So for each, this is called as for each loop. This is called as for each loop, and this for each loop will work only on, this is actually called as for each loop, for each loop, because for each time it will read one value from collection and perform some operation. For each time read one value from collection or iterable. For each time it will read one value from collection or iterable and perform certain operation. For each time it will read one value from collection or iterable and perform some operation. That is called as for each. For each. That is called as for each. Right? Now this is now this is a syntax. Wise you find some difference between C, C++, Java, and one more is what? Python, right? This is syntax difference, right? Now I'll try to tell you some basic examples, and then how can I use a for loop like the way how you use in C, C++ and what? Java. Okay, that we'll see it. But first we'll try to see some basic examples where you can understand how this for loop will work. Okay. Now we know, right now we know only one collection. Right now we know only one collection type or sequence type called which one? String. We know only one sequence data type called which one? String. String is a collection of characters. String is a collection of characters. So write a program to count number of vowels in input string. So these are basic examples just to understand for loop. Okay, these are basic examples just to understand how this for loop will work, right? Write a program to count a number of vowels in input string. What I have to do first? I have to input the string. Input enter any what string. Input enter any string. Okay, I read one string. And after reading the string, I have to read each character from the string. After inputting the string, I have to read each character from the string. After inputting the string, I have to read each character from the string. So I'm saying for character in what? str1. For character in str1. So what is the name of the variable? Ch. For example, I input the string called some Java. What is my string here? Java. What is the first character in string? J. Then I have to check, is it J is vowel or not? Then what is the next character in the string? A. What is the value of ch? A. What is the next character in the string? V. What is the value of ch? V. What is the next character in the string? A. What is the value of character? A. So every time you are reading one value from collection of values. So string is a collection of characters. Now I declare one variable called count. Initially, what is a count? 0. Every time you are reading one character, and then you are checking it. If a character in AEIOU in operator, already we have seen in operator. Is it this character is equal to any one of this? If this character is equal to any one of this, then I'll say count plus 1. It's nothing but count equal to count plus 1. So what is the first character in the string? J. Is it J is equal to any one of this character? No. Then what is the next character in the string? A. Is it A equal to any one of this? Yes. Then count becomes 1. Then next value is what? V. Is it V is equal to any one of this here? No. Then what is the next character? A. Is it A is equal to any one of this character? Yes. So how many vowels are there? 2. See, you can write this like this also. If character double equal to A. If character double equal to what? E. If character double equal to what? I. Is it this logic becomes very lengthy or not? Yes. Instead of writing equal to equal to equal to, I can just search. Is it this character is there inside? This character is there inside group of characters. Group of characters. If yes, the value of count is incremented with 1. And here I'm saying format. So the count of vowels inside str1 is as a sprint C value. Now C is nothing but what here? Count. C is nothing but here count. C is a count here. Count of characters. Okay, these are count of characters. Now once you run this, enter any string. What is my string here? Java. The count of vowels inside Java is how many vowels are there? 2 vowels. I try to execute and I'm saying Python. So count of vowel inside Python is how many here? 1. Okay, then I try to execute. I'm trying to say CPP. Okay. Now count of vowel inside CPP is what? 0. So what you are doing it, what for loop is doing here, each time it is reading one value from which one? String. What is the first character in the string? J. What is the second character in the string? A. What is the third character in the string? V. What is the fourth character in the string? A. After reading each character from the string, you are performing some operations. After reading each character from the string, you are performing operation, writing inside which loop? For loop. Okay. So for loop will work only on which data types? Collection data types. So in application development, if you want to process a group of values, you take the help of collections like arrays, vectors, okay, like some almost all data structures. Almost all data structures are manipulated by using which loop here? For loop. Very much useful in application development, but you have to remember how this collection works, right? Okay, let us see one more example on this, like string only. Let us see one more example on this string only. Write a program. Write a program to count. Write a program again to count. Count. Count alphabets. Count alphabets, digits, and special characters. Special characters. Okay, inside a given or inside a input string. So I want to find how many vowels are there. I want to find how many vowels, how many alphabets are there inside one string. For example, my string is some ABC, some dollar percentage 123. ABC dollar percentage 123. How many alphabets are there? 3 alphabets. How many special characters are there? 2 special characters. How many digits are there? 3 digits are there. I want to know it. How many alphabets are there? How many digits are there? And how many special characters are there in a given string? So what I have to do every time I have to read one character or not? Yes. So how can I read each time one character from the string? First, I have to input the string. Enter enter any string. Enter any string. Okay, enter any string. And every time you are reading one character from string. Every time you are reading one character from string. So for character in str1. So every time you are reading one character from string, and after that, before that, you just declare some variables, alphabet count, digit count, special character count. equal to 0, comma 0, comma 0. So I try to assign how many values here? 3 values. To how many variables? 3 variables. So what is the value of alphabet count? 0. What is the value of digit count? 0. What is the value of special character count? 0. So what you're trying to do every time you're reading one character from the string, after reading the character from the string, you need to check, is it this character is greater than or equal to what? A. And this character is less than or equal to what? Z. Or this character is greater than or equal to A, or character is less than or equal to what? Z. Then it is which count? Alphabet count. So that character is alphabet. That character is what here? Alphabet. Else, if character is greater than or equal to 0 and character is less than or equal to what? 9. Character is greater than or equal to 0 and character is less than or equal to 9. 9 less than or equal to 9. Then you have to say which count here? Digit count. So digit count plus 1. If it is not alphabet and digit, it is called which character? Special character. So alphabets means now this is a condition. It's between A to Z or A to Z, then it's alphabet. If it is between 0 to 9, then it is what? Digit. It is not an alphabet and digit, then what it is? Special character. If it is not an alphabet or if it is not a digit, then it is called a special character. If it is not an alphabet or digit, then it's called as a special character format. So alphabet count, I just displayed and backslash n. So digits count, I try to display some DC and special character count. And I try to display special character. So once you run this, enter any string NIT 123 dollar. NIT 123 dollar. So how many alphabets are there? 3 alphabets are there. How many digits are there? 3 digits. How many special characters are there? 1. Now this is useful. This logic is useful for verifying which one? Password. So password length should be 8 and should have at least some 2 to 3 special characters and must have some 2 to 3 digits. Now in that case, every time you read one character and verify how many alphabets are there, how many digits are there, and how many special characters are there. So every time you are reading one character from where? String. Every time you are reading one character from the string and then you are performing operations. Every time you are reading one character from the string and performing operations. Okay. So this is alphabet count and this is a digit count and this is a special character count, right? Yes. Anything you can enter it, but this is completely working with only collection. So this example, now you learn more examples related with the strings later, but now just these examples I've taken only to understand what is this here for loop. But there is one separate chapter is there for strings, and there you learn more examples related with the strings. Suppose again write a program to convert input string into which case? Uppercase. I want to convert input string into which case? Uppercase. I want to convert input string into which case? Uppercase. I want to convert input string into which case? Uppercase. Okay. So if the string is in lowercase, I want to convert that string into which case? Uppercase. If the string is in lowercase, I want to convert that string into which case? Uppercase. Okay. So then how can I convert the string into which case? Uppercase. Then you have to take input, enter any string. So actually you try to enter the string either in uppercase or lowercase, but you should convert that string into which case? Uppercase. But you cannot do the changes in the string, right? So I'll try to store that string into what? Another string. Now str1 is which string here? Input string. And str2 is which string here? Output string. str1 is which string here? Input string. str2 is which string here? Output string. We are converting and assigning to which string here? str2. Now I'm trying to create one empty string. This is called which string? Empty string. I'm not giving any space. If I give a space, is it empty? No. There is one character. What character is there in the string? Space. Empty string means you have to open and close it. If you open and close it, then it becomes which string? Empty string. So here this str2 is what here? Empty string. Empty string. What you need to do every time you need to read one character from the string. Every time you need to read one character from the string. After reading the character from the string, you have to check. What do you need to check? Is it that character is in lowercase? Is it that character is in which case? Lowercase. Okay. If the character is there in lowercase, you have to convert into which case? Uppercase. How you convert? By taking which value? ASCII value. ORD of CH. ORD of CH minus 32. ORD of CH minus 32. For example, my string is having small a. What is the small a equivalent ASCII value? 97. And 97 minus 32 is what? 65. And 65 of character is what? Capital A. So ORD of CH minus 32, this value you are converting into which type? Character type. And this character you are adding to the output string, saying str2 equal to str2 plus. What you are doing? Plus is for what? Concatenation. Plus is for what? Concatenation. After converting the string into which case? Uppercase. You are adding that string to which one? str2, which is called as output string. Else. Okay, else if else what? It is uppercase. If it is not lowercase, it is what? Uppercase. Then will you do any conversion? No. Okay. If it is uppercase, will you do any conversion? No. You'll try to add that character as it is. You'll try to add that character what? As it is. If it is lowercase, then only convert that character into what? Uppercase by taking which value? ASCII value. ASCII value minus 32. ASCII value of small a. ASCII value of small a. ASCII value of a small a is 97. Okay, ORD of a minus 32 is what? 65. And character of ORD of a minus 32. ORD of a is what? 97 minus 32 is what? 65. And what is the 65 of character? Capital A. So is it converted lowercase character to what? Uppercase. Now play. What is the difference between uppercase and lowercase ASCII characters? Is 32. What is the difference between ASCII chart? In ASCII chart, the difference between lowercase and uppercase characters is what? 32. Now plus 32 minus 32. If you want to convert, what is that? Lowercase to uppercase minus 32. And uppercase to lowercase, you say plus 32. That is the difference, right? Okay. Then after converting, you are concatenating this with what? str2. If it is not, you are trying to add that character as it is without doing any conversion. Format str1, yes. The string is what is the string here? str2. This is converted string, right? Okay. Now this is now once I run this, enter any string. So I try to enter the string like Python. Now the string is in which case? Lowercase. Now it's converted into which case here? Uppercase. The string is in lowercase and converted into which case? Uppercase. In the same way, suppose I enter the string in uppercase. Will it do any conversion? No. What is the first value in the string? A. Is it A is greater than or equal to A? A means what? 65. 65 is greater than 97? No. This condition is false or not? Yes. Is it that character is added to the str2 as it is or will do conversion as it is? It will not do any conversion. What is the next character? B. B is greater than or equal to A? No, because B equivalent of ASCII value is what? 66. Is it 66 is greater than 97? No. Even this condition is also false. Will it add that character as it is or not? Yes. If the character is lowercase, then only it will execute this logic. If the character is not lowercase, then this logic is not executed. It will add that character as it is to which string? str2. Now, if I run this again, I input 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is alphabet. No. Then what will it do? Will it do any conversion or will it add these characters as it is? Add these characters as it is. It will try to execute which block? Else block. Will it execute if block or else block? Else block, because input character is not alphabet. Input character is not alphabet. Input character is not alphabet. So will it execute the second law? I mean, if condition or else block, because it is not an alphabet. Because it is not a alphabet. But you have to understand how this for loop is working. All these examples is just to understand how the for loop is working. For loop, it will work only on which data types? Collection data types. For loop will work only on which data types? Collection data types, but it doesn't work on standard data types like int, float. No, because integer means only one value. Float means only one value. Complex number is only one value. But string is a collection of characters. List is a collection of values. Set is a collection of values. I can use this for loop only on collections. Like file. File is a collection of data. File is a collection of data. Now file is also called one collection. Database is also called one collection. Now I can work only on which data types? Collection data types. I cannot write. For example, I'll write a equal to 10. Can I say for x in a? Can I say for x in a? No, because a is which data type? Integer type. Is it integer is a collection of standard type? Standard type. Integer represent one value or collection of values? One value. List represent collection of values. String represent collection of values. But integer represent only one value. Then will it work or doesn't work? Doesn't work. Immediately it gives what? Error. If I'm saying print, okay, print x value. If I run this, immediately it is given error saying that which error? Type error. Integer object is not iterable. Iterables. All iterables are collections. Iterables are allows to iterate or read each time one value. Okay, a classroom is a collection of students. I can say a classroom is one collection or iterable. from where you can read each time one student and perform certain operations. So here A is not a collection type. A is which type? Standard type, fundamental type, and this will represent only one integer. If I'm trying to apply it, then immediately it gives what? Error. Suppose I'm writing for x in okay, for x in 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 comma 50. How many values are there? How many values are given here? 5 values. Is it this is one collection or not? Yes. Actually, this is called as one tuple. This tuple is having how many values? 5 values. Now each time it will read one value. Each time it will read one value and perform operation. Each time it will read one value and perform operation. How many values here? 5 values. But I cannot use one value, but I can use what? Collection of values. Right? Collection. It will work only on collection types. But now you want to execute a for loop the way how you execute in C, C++ and what? Java, right? You want to execute a for loop the way how you execute in C, C++ and what? Java. Means I want to execute a repeat for loop number of times. Generally, looping statement is used for repeating or not. Yes, I want to repeat for loop 100 times. How can I repeat for loop 100 times? How can I repeat for loop 100 times? Okay. How can I repeat for loop 100 times? Like in C, you are writing like this. If you want to repeat for loop 100 times, you'll say for I is 1, I is less than or equal to 100, I plus plus. That will work in C, C++ and Java. But I want to repeat. I want to write a for loop to repeat how many times? 100 times. I want to use a for loop to repeat some 200 times or 10 times. How can I repeat a for loop 10 times? I require how many values here? 10 values. If here you have a 10 values, then it is repeated how many times? 10 times. Here if you have 100 values, then it repeat how many times? 100 times. If it is having 1000 values, then it repeat how many times? 1000 times. Now this string is having how many values? 6 values. This string is having how many values? 6 values. Then it is repeated how many times? 6 times. Then I required here one data type that should generate how many values? 100 values, so that this can be repeated how many times? 100 times. So for that, you take the help of one more data type. If you want to repeat a for loop number of times, okay, you take the help of one more data type. And what is it? Data type is range. You have one data type called which one? Range. The name itself, range, right? Now you use in statistics range for generating the sequence of values, a range of values. Sequence of values are range of values, right? So there is one data type called range. Range is a data type. Range is a data type. Range. Which data type? Sequence data type. Range is a data type. Okay, range is a data type, and range is a sequence data type. It is a sequence data type. Sequence means sequence. Sequence is what? Order. Sequence is one order where it organize or generate values in which order? Sequential order. Sequence is an order. Sequence is the order in which it generates the values or stored the values. Sequence is nothing but order in which it generates the values or stored the values. Now range is a sequence data type, and range is immutable. Range is a immutable sequence data type. Immutable sequence data type means once you create a range, you cannot do any changes, right? Once you create a range, you cannot do any changes. Okay, so range is a sequence data type. Means I can use a range for generating sequence of values or series of values. Range data type, range, range data type is used. Range data type is used for generating sequence of values, for generating sequence of values, or you can say range of values. Sequence of values or range of values, that you can do it by using which one? Range. But if you see the definition of Python, right? According to the Python definition, what is a range is, this is a definition of Python. So the range type represents, now this is Python definition. The range type represents immutable sequence of numbers. The range type represents an immutable sequence of numbers and is commonly used. The range type represents immutable sequence of numbers. The range type represents immutable sequence of numbers and is commonly used for looping. Is commonly used for looping a specific number of times in what year? For loops. If you want to repeat a for loop specific number of times, you can take the help of which one? Range. If you want to repeat for loop specific number of times, then you take the help of which one? Range. If you want to repeat for loop specific number of times, then you take the help of which one? Range. So what is the syntax of range? What is the syntax of range here is, now you have a multiple syntaxes. There is a syntax one where you are saying range. Okay, range, it followed by stop. And there is a syntax two, which is a range, it followed by start, stop, and one more is a step. Okay, start, stop, and one more is a step. Now here you have a two syntaxes. So there is a syntax one and there is a syntax two. You have a two syntaxes. One is a syntax one and one more is what here? Syntax two. Okay, two syntaxes are there. But range object is having, okay, three attributes or properties. So range object is having three attributes or what? Properties. Range object is having three attributes or properties. The first one is a start, and second one is a stop, and third one is what? Step. So range is having how many properties here? Three properties. Start is there, stop is there, and one more is a step. So whenever you are talking about range, you have to give the inputs. How many inputs you have to give? The start value as well as what? Stop value. You have to define the start value. Now I want to start from 1 and I want to generate up to what? 10. Then what is the difference between each value that is represented as what? Step. What is the difference between each value that is represented as what? Step. I want to generate all the values from 1 to 10. And you want to increment with what? That you can, the increment or decrement value is represented using what? Step. Suppose if I'm saying step equal to 1, okay, then what is the start here? 1. And 1 plus 1 is what? 2. Okay, 2 plus 1 is what? 3. 3 plus 1 is what? 4. 4 plus 1 is what? 5. 5 plus 1 is what? 6. 6 plus 1 is a 7. 7 plus 1 is a 8. 8 plus 1 is a 9. And the stop value is which one? 10. So every range is having how many attributes? Three attributes or three properties. First one is called as a start, and second one is called as a stop, and third one is called as what? Step. The start value represent the beginning of the range. The start value represent beginning of the range. Okay, the stop value represent end of the range. But stop is not included. If I'm saying stop at 10, it will stop at which one? 9. The stop value is not included. Stop value is what? Excluded. If you want to generate from 1 to 10, I have to give the stop as what? 11. If I want to generate 1 to 10, I have to give the stop value as what? 11, because stop is not included. Means it will generate up to stop minus 1. It will generate up to stop minus 1. If I give stop is 11, it will generate up to what? 10. So you must give how many inputs here? 3 inputs. Start is step and one more is what? Stop. But if you see this syntax 1, in syntax 1, now this is a beginning of the range. So beginning of the range, and stop is end value of range, which is not what? Included. This is excluded, and this is what is this? Difference between values within range, which is called as increment or what? Decrement value. Increment or decrement value. But in syntax 1, if you see this syntax 1, how you are writing in syntax 1? You are just writing range, it followed by which one? Stop. But then what is the start? I am giving only syntax 1, I just giving range, it followed by stop. But range is having total how many properties? 3 properties. That is start, stop, and step. But in this syntax, you are giving only which value? Stop value. The syntax allows only one input, and what is that input? Is one input called stop. One input called stop. Then what is the value of start? The value of start is what? 0. What is the value of start? 0. What is the value of stop? The value of stop, the value of step. The value of step is what here? Plus 1. This syntax is used. The syntax is used to generate positive range of values. I can use this syntax only for generating which values? Positive range of values. Positive means I want to generate from 0 to 10. So why? Because the syntax allows how many inputs here? Only one input. But range is required how many inputs? 3 inputs. Okay, range is actually required how many inputs? 3 inputs. But I'm giving how many inputs here? 1 input. Then what is the default start value? 0. What is the default step value? Plus 1. What is the default start value? 0. What is the default step value? Plus 1. Okay. Now I can use this only for generating which range of values? Positive range of values. Only positive range of values. For example, if I'm writing like this, range, if I'm writing range 10, then what this range will do it? Now range object is created with the start value as what? 0, stop value as what? 10, and increment value as what? Plus 1. It will increment the values by using plus 1. So it starts at what here? 0, and 0 plus 1 is 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8, and plus 1 is what? 9. So always it will generate the values until start is less than which one? Stop. Until start is less than stop, not equal to, less than stop. So it will generate how many values from 0 to 9. Now this is nothing but, if you see the same thing in C language or C++ or Java point of view, it is like this. For start equal to 0, What is the syntax for start equal to 0 and start? Start is less than what? Start is less than what? Stop. Start is less than what? Stop. And start equal to start. Start equal to start plus which one? Step. Start equal to start plus what? Step. Start equal to start plus step. What is the step value? 1. What is the value of start? 0. Is it 0 is less than 10? Yes. Okay, then next start equal to start plus step means 0 plus 1 becomes what? 1. Is it 1 is less than 10? Yes. Then 1 plus 1 is becomes what? 2. Is it 2 is less than 10? Yes. Now, can I use the for loop the way how I'm using in C, C++, Java? Yes. Then to use the for loop the way how you are using in C, C++, Java, I need to take the help of one more data type. I need to take the help of one more data type. And what is the data type I have to use here? Range. I have to take the help of one more data type called which one? Range. Very good. So range is again very much useful for generating indexes. If you are working with arrays, in arrays each element is identified with what? Index. If I want to generate indexes, I can generate indexes by using which one? Range. And not only that, it is also used for repeating one for loop number of times. Not only that, it is used for repeating for loop what? Number of times. Number of times. See, whenever you are talking about range, right? Range. Generally, in range, suppose I'm saying range minus 10. I said range minus 10. What will happen? Range minus 10 means will it generate any sequence of values? Will it generate anything? Range means what range is having? Start. Range is having what? Start, and one more is what? Stop. And one more is what here? Step. What is the start value? What is the start value? 0. What is the stop value? What is the stop value? Minus 10. What is the default step value? Plus 1. If you want to generate from 0 to minus 10, it should increment value or decrement value? It should increment or decrement? Decrement. You should decrement it. But what is the default step? What is the default step? Plus 1. What is the default step? Plus 1. Means if the step is positive, then start must be what? Less than. Start must be less than stop. If the step is positive, the start must be less than what? Stop. Is it 0 is less than minus 10? No. I cannot generate 0 to minus 10. If I want to generate 0 to minus 10, the step value should be what? Negative, but it should not be what? Positive. But in this syntax, can I give the input as step? No. In this syntax, I'm giving only which value? Stop value. Remaining values are taken automatically or not? Yes. Because of that, you can generate which values? Positive values. You can generate the range of positive values, but you cannot generate the range of negative values. You can generate the range of positive values, but you cannot generate the range of what? Negative values, because the default step is what? Positive. Then I can have only positive range, but cannot have what? Negative range. If I want to have a negative range, I have to go for what? Syntax 2, where I can give a start value, stop value, as well as what? Step value. Now syntax 2 is there. This is a syntax 2, and this syntax 2 you can use it for generating range of positive values, range of what? Negative values. Now there is a start, stop, and one more is what? Step. This syntax allows to input how many values? 3 values. Allows to input 3 values. Okay. And using this syntax, okay, using this syntax, we can generate a range of, okay, positive values and positive and what? Negative values. Positive and negative values. So this positive and negative range, is depends on which value? Depends on which value? Step value. Okay. So these are the rules. Actually, what is the rule is, if step is positive, if the step is positive, the start must be less than what? Stop. If the step is what? Negative, the start must be greater than which one? Stop. This is the rule. What you have to remember it when you are generating a range of values. If the step is positive, you have to see that the start should be less than what? Stop. If the step is negative, you have to see that the start should be greater than what? Stop. If the step is positive, now I want to generate values from 0 to 0 to what is this? Minus 0 to what? Minus 10. Now what is this now? What is this now? Start. And what is this now? Stop. This is a stop. Then how you write a range? Range equal to 0 comma what? Minus 11. Stop is included or not included? Not included. Then comma, what do you write here? Minus 1. What do you write here? Minus 1. Correct or not? So 0 comma minus 11 comma minus 1. So will it generate positive or negative? Negative. From 0 to minus 10. 0, first it will generate which one? 0. And 0 minus 1 becomes what? Minus 1. Getting or not? 0 minus 1 becomes 0 plus minus 1 becomes what? Plus or minus is what? Minus. Getting or not? Then next is what? Minus 1, right? What is the start becomes minus 1. Minus 1 plus or minus 1 becomes what? Minus 2. Minus 2 plus or minus 1 becomes what? Minus 3. Now this is up to what? Minus 10. Are you incrementing or not? Yes. Okay, now 0 is less than or equal to? Is it 0 is greater than minus 10 or less than minus 10? Greater than. When if step value is what? Negative. ఏమైందమ్మా అర్థమైతే లేదా? రేంజ్ కూడా అర్థం కదా? Range. Okay, put seat numbers from 1 to 10 means how you write it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You increment with what? 1. Put seat numbers from 10 to 1 means 10, 9, 8. You decrement or increment? Decrement. So 10 is range here. Range means beginning. Now you want to increment or you want to decrement. That is based on, actually always you create a range based on which value? Step value. Suppose I want to generate values from, assume that I want to generate values from 10 to I want to generate values from 10 to 1. I want to generate a range of values from 10 to 1. How you write it? What is the start? What is the start? 10. What is the stop? What is the stop? 0, right? Very good. Now stop is a 0. Now start is a 10. Stop is what? 0. Then what is the step? Minus 1. So 10 minus 1 is what? 9. 9 minus 1 is what? 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. Okay. Okay or not? Okay. Then I want to generate values from -1 to -10. Tell me how to write range. Tell me. So what is the start? -1. What is the stop? -11. What is the step? What is the step? -1. Minus what? -1 plus 1 is what? Plus of -1 becomes -2, -3. See, I say no. -1 is less than -10 or greater than? Less than, right? So are you adding or not? Yes. Okay. So I want to generate. I want to generate from -10 to -10 to what here? -1. Then how you write it? Tell me how you write it. Range. What is the start? -10. What is the stop? 0. What is the step? 1. Yeah, 1 or not? Yes. So -10. -10 plus 1 is what? -9. -9 plus 1 is what? -8. -8 plus 1 is what? -7. Up to what? -1. Is it 0? Is it 0 is included or not included? Not included. Okay. Now you have to see that if the step is positive, the start should be less than stop. If the step is negative, the start must be greater than what? Stop. Range. If you don't understand range, how you become data scientist? Okay, data scientist, right? Data science is not easy task, right? Now every student want to become data scientist. If you want to become a data scientist, you must know some mathematical things, right? You don't know plus minus differences only, you are not knowing. You don't know plus and minus only. Then you apply, how you apply formulas. Plus minus ही नहीं मालूम तो कैसे करेंगे यार? Okay, right. So practice, you have to practice it. If you don't practice it, I said yesterday I've given some programs. Okay, not practiced. बस हो गया अभी, बहुत सीख लिए पाइथन. बहुत हो गया अभी, खाली सुनेंगे, बाद में करेंगे. यस, पाइथन बहुत हो गया, प्रैक्टिस हो गया, मेरे मालूम हो गया. I know Python. Why should I practice? We'll just see daily जाके सुन के आ जाएंगे, बाद में देखेंगे. पहले अच्छा रहता Python. फर्स्ट इंस्टॉल करते हैं ना, अच्छा दिखता. एक 10 दिन प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, बाद में अरे बहुत इजी है, बाद में देख लेंगे. और बाद में नहीं आता, कुछ नहीं कर दे. Every day you have to practice. फर्स्ट होमवर्क बोले मैं दे दिया, अच्छा करे. संडे पूरा कितने लोग रेस्पॉन्स करे अभी वो ग्रुप में. कल तो एक ही जना रेस्पॉन्स करा, एक ही जना करा. रिमेनिंग पीपल आर 180 पीपल आर देयर इन दैट ग्रुप. एक जना करा और रिमेनिंग लोग सो गए, बस हो गया. So that's the reason I don't give any problems. So next time onwards I don't give any problems, and you don't ask also, because you don't do it. Yes or no? So that is what I wanted. You try to reduce my job, right? Because if you are not doing anything, my job is very easy. Kali pada ke chale aadu mai. Why should I think about giving assignments and all the things, right? Not required. Okay, na? Right. Anyway, Tomorrow we'll see how to work with this. Which data type? A range data type. Okay. So this data type is very important and don't miss this range, right? And बाद में नहीं बोलना कि range क्या है, start क्या है, stop क्या है, step क्या है. Okay. So I'll not repeat again. You have to attend tomorrow, right? So we'll stop it here today and tomorrow we'll continue this, right? So try to practice. Thank you. Okay.